Hello, in this video I will show you how to create a custom airdrop for your map. So the first thing that you need to do is actually exit your map editor. Be sure to save your changes if you have any, and then click exit. Okay, and before we begin, I actually recommend first going to the configuration display and make sure that the full screen mode is set to borderless, or if it's windowed it's also fine, because we're gonna switch between the tabs and it's not so smooth when you have a exclusive mode enabled. Okay, so let's go back and let's enter the workshop page. Now here you should be able to find the spawn tables, so click on it, and this is basically where you configure the spawns for items and vehicles and animals. Not only for just airdrops, but for anything else. So let's say we want to create a new airdrop. So we need to first make sure that the items is selected, because obviously you can't have vehicles and you can't have animals in the airdrop care package, which is the box that falls from the plane with the parachute. Okay, so we set it to items first. Next thing that we need to do is to set the ID for our airdrop, which should be the number, but the number should be less than 65,000, and I recommend that it is greater than 3,000, so it doesn't conflict with any existing IDs. So for this example, I will set it to 10,230, just 30, okay. And the next thing that you need to do is press the new button. So this will create a new spawn asset, and as you can see, our ID was replaced with this longer GUID. But don't worry, the ID, the numeric ID that we have set, is still there. It's saved. If you click on raw, you can see it's still there. So we're gonna click on raw again to hide it. Sorry, actually you need to press view. Okay. And now I'm not going to cover the spawn asset routes because you don't need them to create a custom airdrop with your items. I'm only going to cover spawn asset tables. So this is where you can add your items that should be included in this airdrop that you're creating. So for example, I'm going to add maple strike to my airdrop. So you need to enter the numeric ID of this item. I remember the ID of maple strike, but if you don't know the ID of the item that you want to add, you can simply just go to your browser, and I recommend going to uedit.com and items, and this is where you can find the ID of an item that you want to have in the airdrop or in your spawns in general. So let's say I want to add maple strike. You can see the IDs, like I said it's 363. Okay, so let's go back to Unturned. I set it to 363. I'm gonna add it. So you can see, as you can see, when I pressed adds asset, it added a new row. And maybe you can't see this very well, but it says maple strike there. And the next placeholder is set to 0. But this placeholder is actually very important. This is where you set the weight, which is then used to calculate the chance of this item in your airdrop. Because it is set to 0 right now, the chance to find this item in this airdrop is also 0. So we need to change it. There's no point of adding items that have a 0 weight, obviously. So let's set the weight to, for maple strike, let's set it to, oh, maybe not 15 but 10, right? And now the chance didn't change, but if you press apply weights, you can see that now it changed and it's set to 100, because obviously this is the only item that we have. So no matter what weight did we set, it will be 100% chance, because there's no other items. So let's add another one. Let's set it to 6, which is a military magazine. Let's press add asset. And now again, you can see the name of the item that you have added. If you made a mistake, you can always press remove, then add it again. no problem. And again, the second placeholder, which is 0 by default when you add it, is the weight. So we want to set it to something greater than 10 because I want military magazine to be more common in this airdrop than Maple Strike. So let's set it to 15. Okay, and as you can see, the chance didn't update again. It's like -100, which doesn't make any sense. But you need to press the apply weights button again. And as you can see, it calculated the chances again. So the actual chance for Maple Strike now is 40%, but the military magazine is 60%. And this is calculated by dividing the weight of an item but by the sum of all other weights in the airdrop. So you can see you should see the equation on the screen right now. I'll be showing it somewhere. So this is basically how it works. But you don't need to know exactly how this works. You just want to set weights and you will see this result. So let's add another one. So let's add military drum. So let's press add. And let's set the weight to something like 5. And if we press apply weights again, you can see the chances have been updated. Now still the biggest chance there is for military magazine, but it is not 60 but now 50% because we added a new item. And so this military drum now has only like almost 70% chance. Alright, so this is basically it. That's how you add these items. You can add as many items as you want. Just add it and set the weight and then press apply weight and you will see the overview. Alright, but don't stop here. So the next thing that you need to do is actually save this into the file. Because at the moment, if your Unturned crashed or if you closed it, you would lose all this configuration that you've made. So what I actually recommend is just adding a few items at the beginning, but then making sure that the file is savable. So what you need to do to save it, in order to save it, well, you can safely just keep it like this and press the back button, go to editor, but don't go into the map file. I mean, don't open the map in the editor. If you do that, the changes to your spawn is gonna disappear. So the only thing that you wanna do here is press the Browse Files button. And this should open the File Explorer window. Now this is where I recommend to save your spawn, which is this airdrop spawn, of course. So how you do this? So this is your map files. And what you need to do is you don't put it in the spawns folder here, because this is something else. This is for the positions of spawns and, well, the configuration that you do normally in the map editor. So you don't want to put it there. What you want to do is to right click and create a new folder. And this folder should be called bundles. Okay. And once you create this folder, go inside that folder and create another folder for spawns, so call it spawns. Okay, then enter this folder. And finally, this is where you want to create a folder for your airdrop. So this is important because this name, well, it's not that important because obviously the players don't see this name, but it is important for you to be recognizable. So, for example, if you have multiple airdrops on your map, you want to give them some distinguishable names. So I'm going to call this airdrop Maple Strike, and I'm not going to use space, I'm going to use underscore, and I'm going to say airdrop. Okay, so this airdrop will be called Maple Strike underscore airdrop. So once you create this folder, you want to enter it. And here you're going to have to create a file. The file that will store the configuration of your airdrop. So what you need to do is right click, create a new file, and just create a new text document. and set it to the same name exactly. It has to be the same name as your MapleStrike_airdrop, which I mean it has to be the same name as the folder that you created it in. So in my case it is MapleStrike_airdrop. Okay. Well, obviously we created a text document, but we actually need the DAT file because Unturned only reads DAT files. It expects DAT file. So we're gonna have to change the extension of this file. But in many cases, you might not be able to see this txt extension. So what you need to do then is, as you can see, I have this file name extensions checked. So if I didn't have it checked, it would look like this. But if I go to View in the File Explorer, and there should be the file name extensions checkbox here, and if it's not selected, just make sure it is selected. Okay, so now I can see the file name extension, and it is txt. So we need to replace the txt with dat. So you want to right click, press rename, and now select the txt and replace it with dat. Then press enter, and Windows will ask you if you want to change the extension of this file. You want to confirm. Okay, so now you can see the type of the file is DAT. It's a DAT file, so basically data file. So we want to open this file now, so you right click, open with, and select your favorite text editor. I'm gonna use Notepad. Okay, and now we're gonna have to paste the configuration that we made previously in the Unturned. So let's go back to Unturned. Go back to the workshop page and go to spawn tables. As you can see, we didn't lose anything, it's still there. So we want to press raw. And this is basically our airdrop configuration. You can see that it contains all the weights that we have set. And the item IDs are actually not numeric IDs, but they're the GUIDs of those items. So don't worry. So we need to copy this by basically just press anywhere there, and this should select everything. But if it doesn't work, like you should be able to, like even, yeah, you could even write here, so be careful, don't do this. But if you want to select all text, you just simply press Ctrl A. And now to copy this, of course, you just press Ctrl C. Okay, so now I'm going to use Alt Tab to switch between the windows. Okay, so I'm going to open my Notepad again, and this MapleStrike_airdrop file, and I'm going to paste the configuration here. And then I'm going to save the file. Okay, so now what we need to do is actually set the position for this airdrop to drop the package. So let's go back to Unturned. We can now safely leave this, go to editor, select our map, and we can go edit it. Okay, and now we're gonna find a nice spot for our airdrop. So I'm gonna set it around here somewhere. So if I go to environment, select nodes, and select airdrop marker. Well, it didn't change anything, but I have selected the airdrop marker. And now if I press E, it will create this, it will set the airdrop in the position where my mouse cursor is. So you can see my mouse cursor. And this is where I'm gonna set my airdrops, let's say here. So I press E on my keyboard. And this arrow should appear. This means airdrop, basically. Okay, but we set the position, but we didn't set what kind of airdrop should drop here. So what you need to do is select this arrow. So one way you can do is just press on it. But if you can't really select it, then you can always just use, you can like click somewhere and just hold the mouse button and select the arrow. Okay, so now that you have it selected, you can see there's an ID placeholder on the left side, and you want to change it to the ID that you have used for your airdrop. I already forgot what was the ID, but I can just check the file. So I just Alt Tab to switch the tabs, and I can see my ID was 10,230. So let's copy this. Go back to the editor. Oops, I deselected the airdrop, so let's select it again. Okay, let's click on the placeholder, and now obviously just press Ctrl V to paste the number that you copied. Just double check it, make sure it is valid. In my case it is. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna test this airdrop in single player. So we have to save the map, press save, and then exit. I will now go to single player. You will find your map in the MISC category, and I have it here. So make sure that allow cheat codes is enabled, because we're gonna run the airdrop command that should call in this airdrop. Okay, so just then press play offline. Okay, and now I'm gonna execute this airdrop command. I think I typed in airport. It's of course it's airdrop. And let's just wait for this airdrop. Okay, once the airdrop touches the ground, you should be able to check the storage. Let's see. And as you can see, our airdrop has maple strike. Actually 3 maple strikes, a lot of military magazines because they have the highest chance, and also the size matters in airdrops. So it always tries to fill in the whole airdrop. So if I had a grenade, for example, it would definitely put it in here. It just didn't put anything in there because there's just no items that takes that little amount of space. So yeah, we also got the military drum, which is only 1. Okay, so as you can see, this worked, and the airdrop dropped in the position where we set it. If you had multiple airdrops, it would be random. It could drop like in other position. So now let me show you just really quick how you can add new items to this airdrop. If you decide to add something or change, it's pretty easy. So if you go to the workshop page again and go to the spawn tables, and now type in the ID of your airdrop, which is in my case this. So I'm gonna paste it, and I'm gonna press view. And as you can see, this shows my airdrop, shows all the items that are included. So let's add the fragmentation grenade and press add asset. Let's set the weight to, let's set it to 5, and then press apply weights. As you can see, the chances have been updated. It looks good. So there's around 14% chance for the grenade. Whatever. So if you press the row button again, and well, you want to copy this because this is updated, you can see the fragmentation grenade was added. So you want to select this and then copy, and then go to your file and just replace it. So the best way to replace it for me is just press Ctrl A, select everything, and then Ctrl V to paste it. Then remember to save it. And next time you're gonna call in airdrop, it should include this fragmentation grenade. Well, if the chance is good enough, like it doesn't have to be always included. It doesn't mean that these items will always be in this airdrop. It is always randomized, of course. And remember that if you forgot where you put these items, well, remember it's in your map. It's the best place where you can have it. Sorry, I mean where you put the airdrop configuration. So the map files is the best place to have it, because if you upload it to workshop, it will be included with the map. All the curated maps like Escalation and Polaris, they always have this bundles folder where they include their custom assets like guns, vehicles, but also these spawns. They always have custom spawns, well, at least in case of Polaris and Escalation. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope I explained everything. Yeah, and good luck with your map, everyone. See ya.